Hello guys, welcome back to LR Anime. Guys, please like the video and subscribe to my channel. Today is explanation of Flame Emperor episode number 572 based on novel. So let's start. Zana, come here quickly. Inspire the seal of reincarnation and trigger the resonance of the power of the two. I will use the power of the soul as a guide to a trace of the origin of Nirvana Phoenix flames and help you completely control the reincarnation. Xiao Yan's eyes were red, and he forcibly gritted his teeth, enduring the pain caused by the broken crystal blocks around him, which turned into countless violent energies attached to his skin. The fiery red flame is like a tide of energy that destroys the sky and destroys the earth. It has just emerged, and suddenly a monstrous ocean wave is set off in the crystal channel here. Senior. Bing Shuiyao behind her gritted her teeth, her body poured into it at the same time. Bing Feng stretched her wings little by little, and an extremely cold white mist filled the air, weakening the power of Nirvana Fengyang little by little. With Bing Shuiao's sense of smell, she naturally found that the 9 phoenixes in front of her and Feng Luani, the patriarch of the Phoenix clan who had once saved her, did not completely fall. In a very delicate situation. It is a bit like sleeping in the past. Once awakened, whether it is strength or prestige, in this vast world, it should be among the top. Zana, let's start. I will be here to protect you until your reincarnation seal is completely stabilized. The furious fiery red holy flame slowly floated in front of Zana, and a majestic pressure filled the air, but no matter how majestic the power of this Nirvana Phoenix flame was, it was the combined force of the 2 holy flame controllers. Down, you can only be quiet. Don't worry, little guy, I will protect her. At this time, the 5-legged golden crow also got rid of other violent breaths and disdain, and quietly stood on Zana's shoulders. Only by stabilizing the seal of reincarnation can there be a chance to go to the Sea of Samsara to wake up the Lord of 9 profound fire in the future. If something happens to the seal of reincarnation, I am afraid that the chance for 9 to wake up the Lord of profound fire will be slim. Boom. The fiery red holy flame lingered around Zana's body, covering it with crystal blocks. In conjunction with the power of the reincarnation seal, a wonderful fusion of power began for a while. These powers are useful to you, take the opportunity to absorb them. Until Zana was completely quiet, Bing Shuiao, who was beside him, waved his hand, directly emitting a white mist to protect Xiao Yang. You. Xiao Yang's brows furrowed, because the crystal block channel on his body has long been corroded by the violent force, and it has become riddled with holes. Bang bang bang. With the emergence of the strange cold fog of Bing Zueo, a series of strange changes occurred on Xiao Yang's body. The first is the blood-colored energy that the blood-red crystal blocks are attached to his skin. The violent energy in it is actually dissipated under the action of the cold mist, and slowly turned into a very pure blood-red liquid. That feeling is as if the cold mist completely eliminated the violent factor in the blood-colored energy. The mourners of the ice attribute have such terrifying power after the reincarnation level strength. If they grow up in the future, that kind of strength can be learned from the world. In the blood-colored liquid, there is an unparalleled majestic power, it seems to have spirituality, and it continuously flows slowly from Xiao Yang's skin, heart, etc., and with the flow of this liquid, Xiao Yang is surprised to find that his own the body has been repaired little by little. It even has a reborn touch. Nirvana Fengyang has the effect of nirvana, although these are only part of the power of the holy flame, but your own physical strength is tyrannical, plus the many holy flames in your body, it is reasonable to have this situation. Bing Zuo's beautiful eyes have been locked on the crystal channel in front of the woman who is entrenched on the throne, and her respect is particularly intense. You. Xiao Yang seemed to be aware of it and temporarily suppressed these forces. I have my destiny, absorb it as soon as possible. After Bing Shuiao finished speaking, the body of the Bingfeng beside him swelled directly, and little ice crystals floated out from his body, slightly reducing the temperature in Phoenix Island. She has shown her own position with her actions, and she will protect it again. The next moment, Bing Zueo and Bingfeng turned into an ice sculpture together, standing on top of this formation mountain, their eyes filled with extreme humility looking at the woman on the throne. Ua! Xiao Yang let out a faint sigh, watching Zana enter the state of cultivation. Bing Shuiao also slowly turned into an ice sculpture, and started her own cultivation. Although he didn't understand the magical effect of this blood-red liquid for a while, Xiao Yang did not deliberately control it, so this liquid continued to flow in his body. Every time it flows, it makes Xiao Yang happy both physically and mentally, and even Xiao Yang feels that both his skin and his body strength seem to be increasing little by little. Since that's the case, then try it. Can you break through the current shackles? After a while, a turbid gas appeared in Xiao Yang's deep eyes, and then the glass-colored holy flame wrapped around his body and began to smash the blood-red crystal blocks continuously. Following Xiao Yang's actions, the 9 phoenix shadows in the dust-covered state crawling beside the throne suddenly sent out a shocking, terrifying fluctuation. The fluctuation was like a black hole, and when it first appeared, it was about to kill Xiao Yang. The terrifying fluctuation caused Xiao Yang's blood to solidify in an instant, and a hairy sense of fear emerged spontaneously. Xiao Yang was trying his best to smash the blood-red crystal block. The crystal block was broken, and a pool of blood-colored liquid flowed on his body. He noticed this movement and hurriedly looked up. However, those black hole forces did not cause any storms, because the fingers of Qianying Jade's hand entrenched on the throne lightly touched, and the whole space became quiet. As if the woman on the throne moves at will, this world can be destroyed at will. It's too strong. What kind of huge strength does this require? Do not care. Feeling the continuous flow of blood-red liquid, they seemed to be tempering and scouring his body, but Xiao Yang was full of energy. However, Xiao Yang was naturally not aware of the actions of the 9 phoenix shadows just now, because the crystal blocks surrounding the throne were wrapped around the throne, but the phoenix Yangjing associated with Nirvana Fengyang, in addition to having simple functions such as tempering the body, also has the effect of nirvana. Magical effect. The number of these Feng Yanjings surrounding Feng Luani is huge, but the terrifying power contained in them can be learned from the world. It's a pity that the Phoenix family is now in a dusty state. Otherwise, Xiao Yang's move will definitely be surrounded and killed by the strong Phoenix family. You must know that Feng Yangjing can only be enjoyed by the king of the Phoenix family and a few supreme elders. An outsider in this mere area has directly forcibly refined a third of the most precious thing in the Phoenix family. After resting, Xiao Yang closed his eyes and controlled these forces to continuously increase his strength. At the same time, the cycle of reincarnation that had been stagnant began to slowly turn. After the reincarnation, the square is 1 turn. I hope it lives up to expectations. Xiao Yang murmured, and began to close his eyes to control the many powers in his body. At the same time, above the entire dead silence of the Phoenix Island, there seemed to be some terrifying power that pierced through the void and slowly gathered here. The breath of the early morning had just cut through the dark night sky, and the temperature of the atmosphere between the heavens and the earth also became tense. The kingdom of angels, the holy city, and the 3 major shrines are full of brilliance. Even if the battle in the underworld is loud, it still doesn't make this supernatural force move in any way. It is still as high above as a god's mansion that mortals can't shake, regardless of the world. Today, in the kingdom of angels, it can be said to be very lively. The legendary Holy Mountain Range is located in the opposite corner of the holy city of the Kingdom of Angels, which is one of the holy places in the Kingdom of Angels. The duty of the Holy Inquisition Mountain Range is to judge and sanction the evil people who are angry with the gods in the world. From ancient times to the present, there have been countless powerhouses who have fallen into the Holy Inquisition Mountain, and their strength has at least reached the level of 8 reincarnations. Today, the mountain roads around the Sanctuary Mountains are extremely glorious, and countless devout angel believers are standing around the mountains like statues, rendering it a truly sacred place. The mountain road, the mountain is as white as jade. From a distance, it looks like a white dragon entrenched in a winding, and there are many pure white angelic power pouring down from the sky, which is extremely brilliant, and it is covered all day long. The angels' holy light bathed, making the whole of the Holy Inquisition mountain range look extremely magnificent. At this time, around the Holy Trial Mountains, the mountain roads were already overcrowded, and countless crowds were crowded. A well-known figure in the Great Thousand World was wandering around the mountains at this time, and his eyes were fixed on the Holy Trial Mountains. Above, because on the top of the mountain, there is a sacred pentagram of angels, covering the entire Holy Trial altar. Under the pressure of the heaven-shaking holy array of that level, even some old monsters whose strength has reached the 8th reincarnation rank can't help but be moved. On the altar of the Holy Inquisition, a suffocating cross-beam of white brilliance stands in the center of the altar. The beam of light is filled with countless ancient angels imprisoned, and even a woman whose breath is close to malaise is tightly bound. On it, can't move. That's Thunder Lord. On the high platform of the Holy Inquisition altar, there are several archangels shining with dazzling angel wings, surrounded by blazing angels, and it seems that from the high platform, you can overlook the entire kingdom of angel. It can be said unceremoniously that with the vast formation of the Holy Trial Mountains now, even a strong person who has reached the end of the cycle of reincarnation may not be able to retreat completely. Hehe, it's really been a long time since I've seen such a huge formation in the Kingdom of Angels. I remember the last time the Kingdom of Angels used the Holy Inquisition altar with such great fanfare, but it was used to judge the powerful saints among the foreign evil races, the evil person whose strength reached the late stage of the 9 reincarnations. Looking at such an appalling battle, there was a lot of gossip in the crowd. BTTH, I'm afraid you don't know yet. Now that the Holy City of Angels is under martial law, countless angel believers and angels of judgment are all gathered around the altar of the Holy Judgment. I'm afraid something big will happen. What about the Queen of Angels? It is said that there is not a descendant with the bloodline of the Queen of Angels in the Kingdom of Angels. Why haven't we seen it? In the current Kingdom of Angels, I'm afraid there is no Queen of Angels anymore. Around the mountain range, countless figures were bustling, and the noisy voices were constantly whispering. While they were talking, they also looked up at the high platform beside the altar. There was a terrifying, extraordinary presence. That existence is probably the real king in the Kingdom of Angels today. For a time, countless forces surged in the entire Holy Inquisition mountain range, and they gathered here one after another. Among these forces, there were many forces that worked with the Kingdom of Angels and others to obliterate the Xiao clan. Of course, there were also some neutral factions, or it is a force standing on the side of the Endless Flame Alliance. Obviously, they have different purposes for gathering here today. Today's Angel Sanctuary Mountains are surrounded by nearly 70% of the peak power leaders in the world today. If something extraordinary happens, I am afraid that the Second World War will start here. And with all the strong angels surrounding the Holy Trial Mountains outside, the defense of the Holy City Shrine and other places has also become relatively relaxed. Your Majesty, will it be too risky for us to do this? If the little princess's retreat has not been successful, once we forcefully enter it to awaken her, I am afraid that the inheritance of the angel's holy soul will be interrupted. That kind of damage is too great for the little princess. In the Holy City of Angels, at the core of the Queen of Angels shrine, several knights and confidants of the royal family of angels gathered together, looking at the sacred portal filled with the power of countless angels, and they couldn't help but keep their eyes on the Queen of Angels together. Angel's holy soul has already been stolen by Slaughter Angel. It's just a conspiracy designed by Slaughter Angel. Once the inheritance is completed, I'm afraid she will become Slaughter's puppet. I don't want her to be involved in the grudges of our previous generation. The Angel Queen's soft eyes were filled with a rare firmness. Obviously she had secretly guessed something. From the time when the former site of the Kingdom of Angels was destroyed, she knew that all this was planned by the Killing Angel. Her purpose, her ambitions, were not limited to the Kingdom of Angels, but Son of Light Liu Hao, the head of the knights and the others frowned when they heard the words. Even if the Queen of Angels said it was reasonable, but with the strength of their strong men, if they stepped into the retreat of the Queen of Angels in such a daze, among them the danger of flooding is too great. I know this trip is very dangerous, but this is our last chance. If we fail, with the hatred of the Xiao clan and others for the Slaughter Angel, I am afraid that the Kingdom of Angels will face the situation of destruction. The Queen of the Kingdom of Angels, even if I try my best, I will definitely not have the heart to watch the Kingdom of Angels perish here. Let's give it a go. The Queen of Angels seemed to have anticipated something. She took the lead and stepped into it directly with everyone. Then she kept searching in the forbidden area of the shrine, calling for the little princess who had fallen into the depths of the shrine. If Qing Yuan rushes to swallow and fuse the fake angel's soul, she will undoubtedly be completely controlled by the Killing Angel. At that time, with the cold hand of the Killing Angel, she will become the most difficult character in this vast world. Because of the angel's holy soul, and also because of the angelic praise and angelic blessing of the Queen of Angels. With the blessing of so many powers, I am afraid that even the 2 peak demigod powerhouses in the Xiao clan cannot completely compete. Because the strength of the Slaughter Angel has already reached a level that ordinary people can't imagine, once the blessing of the Queen Angel is added, I am afraid that in this world, there are few creatures that can match her. Of course, except for the Xiao clan patriarch and beyond the first outside the territory. On the altar of the Holy Inquisition Mountains, there are 5 corners of the ancient sacred pentagram, with 5 towers of angels, and above the towers are high-weight archangels. It seems to be in control, building the energy operation of this holy altar. On the altar of the Holy Inquisition, the Thunder Lord's eyes opened and closed slightly, and the angelic power attached to the body and skin was burning the latter like a hot filament flame, as if he wanted to completely purify it. However, despite the majestic divine power gushing out from the cross-beam, the Thunder Lord's mind seemed to have something indestructible, and he never gave up his last hope. This Kingdom of Angels is a good abacus. If the people of the Xiao clan don't come, I'm afraid they will be charged with killing the strong people of the Holy Thunder clan, the guardian race of the Xiao clan, and so on. But even if they come, it's probably a real unsolvable situation. After all, the Slaughter Angel can publicly judge Lei Master with such a big fanfare. I'm afraid he has already made all preparations. The eyes of countless figures turned slightly, always watching the wind and grass in this world. If no one from the Xiao clan came today, the Thunder Master would be destroyed in both form and spirit. I am afraid that after today, no one would dare to disobey the Slaughter Angel. According to rumors, the genius of the Xiao family has already reached a demigod, but he is as powerful as a slaughtering angel. Back then, he was able to collude with the center of the human world, and the superpowers in the vast world united to obliterate the Xiao family. How could it be a generalized generation? Lei Master naturally knew the scheming of the slaughtering angel, but now she is powerless to do anything about it, feeling the crossbeam of light constantly eroding her life, soul, but unforgettable scenes emerge in her heavy mind. The first time the two met was on the mountain behind the residence of the Holy Thunder clan. On that day, the patriarch of the Xiao clan led Xiao Tianming to celebrate the birthday of the little princess of the Holy Thunder Lord. During the family banquet, the geniuses of the two super races competed against each other. Until that day began, the pride in the Thunder Lord's heart gradually weakened. Before Xiao Tianming appeared, she had always been the Holy Thunder clan, and even a recognized genius in the whole world. Although the Holy Thunder clan was not as good as the Xiao clan at that time, the Thunder Master had enough confidence to rely on her own efforts. Let the Holy Thunder clan become an existence that surpasses the Xiao clan. All the good things are due to the discussion at the family banquet, and Xiao Tianming had 3 tricks to control him. After he was convinced, the Thunder Master started thinking of Xiao Tianming as his lifelong opponent, and Xiongqi was chasing the latter all his life. In the ensuing time, under the cultivation of the resources of their respective races, the two of them cultivated rapidly and looked forward to the next duel. 10 years later, the younger generation of the Great Thousand World gathered together, led by super races such as the Xiao clan and the Holy Thunder clan, and went deep into the hinterland outside the territory to conduct life and death experiences. The core information of that experience was leaked, and many young geniuses and powerhouses died in a tragic death outside the realm. Only Lei Zhu and Xiao Tianming helped each other, step by step, and only escaped from birth. Since then, the tacit understanding between the two has been good. The sensitivity and so on have all been greatly improved, and there are even traces of a kiss. Let's go first. I have exhausted the power in my body, and I will only be a burden to you in this extraterritorial land. There's a lot of nonsense, let's go together. Oh. From now on, all actions must follow my command. Otherwise, I will leave you to feed the evil shark. I am afraid that the experience of the end of the world in the hinterland outside the territory will never be forgotten in this life. Your Majesty, will he still come? On the high platform next to the crossbeam, a blazing angel spoke respectfully to the killing angel who was quietly resting on the high platform of the altar. He seemed a little worried that this grand event, which had exhausted all the power of the kingdom of angels and carefully arranged, would return without success. In that case, the damage to the kingdom of angels would be too great. What do you say? Killing Angel shook his head slightly, and then a playful smile suddenly appeared on the corner of his mouth. Finally, it's here. The Slaughter Angel's eyes slowly looked towards the sky above the altar of the Holy Inquisition, and a bunch of dazzling orange-gold flames slowly rose, from faint to bright, from inconspicuous to extremely brilliant. That wave was like the arrival of an angry god's mansion, and the divine might was so great that it moved the breath of countless sacred mountains. That wave of fluctuations can be confirmed without any further induction. That is the strongman of the Xiao family, Xiao Tianming, at the peak level of a demigod. He is the real peak powerhouse in this vast world. Xiao Tianming. Alas, they still can't hold their breath after all. Seeing the appearance of this magnificent figure, countless experts from the great thousand worlds surrounding the Holy Trial Mountains shook their heads in unison. Although the Xiao clan's illustrious reputation is vivid in our eyes, the ruthless means of killing the angels are obvious to all those who are present. With the strength of one person, how can it compete with the entire kingdom of angels? Xiao Tianming set foot alone in the holy city of the Angel Kingdom, in the sky of the Holy Trial Mountains, through the endless void in those deep eyes, suddenly locked on the weak shadow above the crossbeam of light, looking at the crossbeam of light emanating from above. The divine aura was eating away at Lei Master's life little by little. On Xiao Tianming's calm face, there were clearly bursts of murderous intent. That kind of heart-piercing pain, as if he had suddenly lost his beloved, his whole heart was suddenly touched. Once the crossbeam of light devours the life of the Thunder Master, there will be no more Thunder Masters in this world. Even with Xiao Tianming's sky-reaching wrist, the Thunder Master cannot be reborn. At that time, the playful and arrogant princess of the Holy Thunder Clan of the past will completely disappear. The former Holy Thunder Clan will also completely disappear in the long river of the Great Thousand World. In this world, there will not be any breath of the Thunder Lord, and no one will have red eyes attached to him and berate him after he has experienced life and death. There will no longer be someone who is arrogant but has a pure and kind heart. Everything in the world remains the most sincere, loving woman. Many times, Xiao Tianming doesn't know what love is, but it is precisely because of the existence of Thunder Lord that Xiao Tianming is constantly motivated, making the latter continue to turn cocoons into butterflies, and eventually become a true genius in the Xiao family. Looking at the beautiful figure in front of him, scenes of unforgettable memories poured into my heart like spring water. How can these pedantic people understand what they have experienced in the near future? You shouldn't have come. Looking at this handsome man who was thinking about it at night, appearing in the sky above the altar of the Holy Inquisition, the Thunder Lord also raised his beautiful face, and tears slowly fell down his cheeks. Lord Lei was surprised to know that when Xiao Tianming came to the meeting alone, he did not personally commit the feud of extermination of the clan, and he had a different temperament in it. Fortunately, the person he loves is not the unforgivable one. At the juncture of death, the last long-cherished wish in his heart was ended, and Lord Lei had no nostalgia for him in this life. Have not seen you for a long time. On the top of the endless sky, Xiao Tianming raised his shriveled palm and looked at the tearful Thunder Lord below with a naive smile, his eyes full of pampering. I have no regrets in my life. Go back, this is not the place you should come. Looking at the bright smile on Xiao Tianming's face, Lord Lei couldn't help smiling contentedly. The memory seemed to return to the first time we met. This taciturn, but black-bellied guy, now it seems that people really love and hate. Faced with Lord Lei's exhortation, Xiao Tianming did not answer, but his eyes suddenly became serious, like a solemn emperor who could not be desecrated, his eyes silently scanning all the creatures here. The current situation is basically a conspiracy of the Slaughter Angel against you and against the Xiao clan. You will die. I don't want you to die. It's not worth it. There's no need to go to war for yourself and the Kingdom of Angels. Once Xiao Tianming and the Kingdom of Angels start a complete war, such a scene will be enough to destroy the world, and the ultimate winner will undoubtedly be the evil race from outside the realm. The Second World War is coming soon. If this internal battle consumes too much top power, the world of Dakian may be in some kind of dire situation. It is already a very happy thing that I can meet Xiao Tianming before I die and fulfill my long-cherished wish. I won't go. I'm not leaving you anymore. Xiao Tianming laughed wildly, and then suddenly there was endless power rising from his entire body. Just like the sky of this sacred mountain range, there is a magnificent orange-gold volcano that will erupt with endless anger at any time, and the momentum is appalling. Countless people looked at this genius of the Xiao clan who would rather give up everything for the sake of a girl, and they felt awe in their hearts, especially the heads of power who were like grass on the wall. They were even more ashamed. Some people are willing to live with dirty masks and ugly bodies for a little bit of profit, while some people are just as they are, and would rather burn everything for the love in their heart. Remaining in the void, the power of the angels in the air began to disappear under the influence of its breath, and the entire peaceful sacred mountain range was filled with hot reincarnation ripples, as if a certain flame king had descended here. This fluctuation is the power of holy flame. Feeling that the angelic power that had been carefully prepared to deal with Xiao Tianming was so easily eliminated by the opponent, the figures within the 5 towers on the pentagram array couldn't help but lose their voices. It's actually the fluctuation of the third holy flame. It's really surprising. The Slaughter Angel's beautiful eyes were filled with a look of surprise. Looking at the holy flame volcano rising from Xiao Tianming's body, a more arrogant smile appeared instead. Today is the day when my Kingdom of Angels will judge heresy. As a member of the Xiao family, what you are doing now? The smile on the corner of the killing angel's mouth was even more contemptuous, and then the high-pitched voice resounded through every corner of the Holy Inquisition Mountains. He is still too young. Even though his strength has reached the peak of a demigod, does he really think that he can fight against the entire Kingdom of Angels by himself? Ha ha ha. Killing angels, why put so many charges on this god? My people from the Xiao family are doing things, but it's not your turn to be a bereaved dog to intervene. Just because you want to get your hands on the Xiao clan, you don't deserve it. Besides, I am now a genius of the Xiao clan. Today's Xiao Tianming is just a common man who is obsessed with love. Just as Killing Angel was halfway through, Xiao Tianming smiled casually, with an unquestionably arrogant tone in his smile. You do not deserve. The majestic voice spread to every corner of this world, and that shocking tone undoubtedly made the atmosphere of this world dry to the extreme, and it ignited instantly. Angel's sanctuary, line up. Feeling the arrogance in Xiao Tianming's chest, the killing angel spoke again. Holy mansion. Holy mansion. The mighty voices emerged from the mouths of countless strong angels around the holy Trial Mountains, and countless pure white filaments poured out from their delicate bodies, and immediately injected them all into the altar. The Holy Inquisition altar was filled with crystal clear white spar, suddenly being poured out by such a vast divine power, the entire altar suddenly rose up and suddenly floated in the air. This is. Among the crowd, there are many strong people with extensive experience. Looking at this altar that rises into the void, their eyelids are beating violently. Angel's sanctuary? The god-hunting light array that claims to be able to judge everything in the world. Suddenly, a colorless and transparent energy light chain scattered from each of the 5 towers in the void, vaguely connecting the entire altar. In the center of the altar, above the crossbeam of light that bound the Thunder Lord, suddenly a surging holy light spewed out, and immediately turned into extremely pure white crystals. Looking at the sacred and mysterious white crystal blocks, the Thunder Master's eyes became dignified. From there, the Thunder Master clearly felt a wave that was close to destruction. Before the Thunder Master could react, hundreds of spar stones surrounded him, and they immediately trembled together, as if they were constructing some void world. The void in the altar began to become distorted and illusory. A round of dazzling white light holes did not know where to lead, but at this time, it was like a big mouth of blood, easily swallowing the Thunder Lord away. Around the altar, countless ancient holy formations of angels are looming, and several seraphs and archangels sang longer angelic spells together. Xiao Tianming, go. The moment the Thunder Lord disappeared and was pulled into the corona vortex, he could clearly feel that he was leaving this world. Is this your trust? Xiao Tianming stepped slightly. No matter what the killing angel did today, he would use his own hands to destroy her in person. The sanctuary of angels, that's an existence that even gods can hunt down you. The killing angel slowly floated outside the light array altar, and then stared at Xiao Tianming with contempt. The reason why the kingdom of angels has been able to maintain a transcendent status in the great world is not only because they control the resurrection magic, but also because of countless divine powers such as judgment and sanctions. With the power of judgment and sanction led by the power of angels, in the entire Great Thousand World, I am afraid that few people can escape. Maybe. Countless angelic divine powers, like sacred hot flames, slammed on Xiao Tianming's face. Even if he was temporarily carrying the third holy flame, the orange-gold flame burst out with a strong fear. Without the divine holy flame, how can it resist the coercion of such a god-hunting light formation? I hope that your current power can be powerful enough to subvert everything. Xiao Tianming's eyes began to change, and orange-gold flames instantly filled his eyes, skin, and flesh. The vast energy seemed to be able to easily crush the world. Immediately, without any hesitation, he stood up suddenly and dived from the sky above the vortex at the center of the altar light array. A handsome and unrestrained sky-shaking shadow, like a falling meteorite, swooped down towards the altar's corona vortex. Even though he knew it was a conspiracy, he jumped into it without hesitation, because there were people he cherished below. This jump caused the hearts of countless strong people present to tremble. Xiao Tianming had just entered the altar of the Holy Inquisition. Countless divine powers caused his skin to burn and ache. The destructive power emanating from the divine hunting light array made his soul shake slightly, but he was still fearless. The speed skyrocketed, directly facing the corona vortex. For a time, the altar, the light array began to twist, and countless angelic divine powers and incantations were poured into the corona vortex by the killing angels, continuously suppressing all the breaths in the corona vortex, that powerful to distort everything. Divine power, even if it is as powerful as Xiao Tianming, I am afraid it is difficult to handle. At this moment, everyone looked at this scene, and it seemed that there was already a result in their hearts. Xiao Tianming, won't he just fall like this? Countless people raised their heads in disbelief, looking at the sanctuary altar suspended in mid-air, especially the entrance of the corona vortex getting smaller and smaller, and a touch of unease poured into their hearts. The coercion filled in the void of the Holy Inquisition altar is too huge, making it difficult for people to breathe. In addition to the coercion of the god-hunting light array, and the corona vortex that does not know where it leads, it seems that the two supreme powerhouses have not yet fought, and this battle will have a result. Mortals who are trapped in love are always unable to touch that unreachable realm. Stepping into the divine hunting light formation, how are you fighting against me? It's all over at the moment you make your decision. The slaughter angel sneered, and then the body surged, also pouring into the void of the Holy Inquisition altar, the splendid sacred filaments surging all over the body, emitting a dazzling sacred halo, and his eyes silently watched as he fell into the crown of light. Xiao Tianming in the whirlpool. If this guy didn't step into the divine hunting light formation, he would still be able to fight himself. Unfortunately, under the vortex of the crown of light, this guy has no way to survive, and now everything is set. At this moment, countless powerhouses are holding their breaths and looking at the mouth of the corona vortex that will be completely closed at any time. The Thunder Lord was pulled into the vortex of the crown of light, only to feel that his body, skin, and even soul were disappearing from the great thousand world, heading towards a pure white world that never had the light of day. There is no life in the world, no living beings exist. Within the body, countless grey thunderbolts poured out one after another, disappearing at will in this pure white unknown world. The disappearance and destruction of every trace of thunderbolt indicates that the life of the Thunder Master has weakened a bit. Is that the end of it? Around Lei Lord's body, there are countless white crystal blocks that contain mysterious power. The breath of the angel's divine power is constantly flying, imprisoning and eroding the latter's body, making him unable to move. He can only open his beautiful eyes with difficulty, and then he is a little helpless. Road. Death is not terrible for Thunder Master. But if Xiao Tianming is implicated because of his own death, that is the last thing he wants to see. In the entire pure white world, there is no sound, the breath responds to the Thunder Master, and the silent breath makes people feel strongly disturbed, fearful. In this way, the power of the angels around him continued to devour the life of the Thunder Master like a greedy beast, and everything seemed to be irreversible. Did you just die like this? I'm really sorry. Countless murmurs sounded, but the Thunder Lord can do very little now. At this time, there was surprisingly no fear in Lei Zhu's mind, and there was no cold touch on his skin. He just felt the weakening vitality in his body, and Lei Zhu couldn't help but slowly closed his eyes. She is not afraid of death, but now that the grievance is over, and the person she loves is by her side, it is almost enough. In my mind, everything about Xiao Tianming gradually emerged, first acquaintance, arguing, falling in love and killing each other. Forget it, since he can't resist, then in this last time, keep all the memories about him. Thinking of this, the Thunder Lord's consciousness and soul trembled slightly, and it seemed that it would collapse completely at any time. The power exerted by the Slaughter Angel had made the Thunder Lord's support reach the limit. Suddenly, orange gold bubbles gushed out of this pure white world without warning, and immediately exploded. A trace of dazzling orange gold liquid renders this originally gentle world into a real sea of flames. Boom! The orange gold liquid, the flames kept falling from the sky, easily melted the cross beams, white crystal blocks and other objects on the Thunder Master's body. At the same time as the explosion, in the entire dead void, there could not be a series of shocking voices that made one's soul fly away, and the momentum was appalling. With the appearance of this scene, I don't know why, the Thunder Lord, who had already given up his struggle, seemed to feel it. Immediately again, he blinked his heavy eyelids hard, tried to open his eyes, and finally took a look at this world. Due to the blurred vision, at the top of the corona vortex, there is a figure bathed in orange gold flames. The power, the breath of an angel, burned away. This figure is brilliant. Even above his head there is a group of flames that surpasses the sky and the earth slowly beating. Is that the fire of life? Xiao Tianming, you are crazy. The crossbeams of light all over his body were easily melted away by the orange gold flames. The extremely weak Thunder Lord, at this time, shrank his eyes slightly and looked at this figure extremely angrily. It doesn't matter anymore. Seeing the thunderous appearance of the Thunder Lord, a rare smile suddenly appeared on Xiao Tianming's serious expression. The previous self, for the sake of the family's interests, the safety of thousands of people, ignored too many things, and the current self will definitely not repeat the same mistakes. Let's go to the ends of the earth, where no one knows us. Just live a peaceful life like this. Lei Zhu looked at Xiao Tianming with such an expression, and choked up. It was the fire of life, which was combined with Xiao Tianming's lifelong efforts. Once the fire of life was extinguished, he would be ashes. Can't go. There is a real battle that awaits me, Xiao Tianming said. But, Lord Lei hesitated. I just want you to live. Me and you together, then I'll take you back. Countless flames surrounded Xiao Tianming, the corona vortex almost collapsed, and the latter's broad palm tightly held the Lei Master's slender wrist, and an indisputable voice passed to his ear. Lei Zhu's eyes shrank tightly, somewhat distressed and somewhat fortunate. He swooped into Xiao Tianming's chest, His eyes were shocked by the fire of life suspended above his head, and then gradually became red and moist. In this battle, I will be with you. This video will end here.